Most people are slaves to their cheap impulses. They are ruled by the ping of a notification, the craving for comfort, and the paralyzing grip of fear. But ancient warriors had a code to prevent this. They didn't just survive on the battlefield, they mastered their minds before the world could master them. If you stay until the end, you'll see how a single habit shift, one simple, overlooked movement, can give you total control over your deepest fears. You feel it, don't you? That constant friction between who you are and who you want to be. You set a goal, then abandon it. You plan a workout, then sleep in. You want to lead, but you hesitate. This isn't just laziness. It's a lack of a framework. Without a code, you are drifting in a storm without a rudder. The samurai called their rudder Bushido, 7 iron rules. 7 ways to kill the weakness inside you. Rule 1, GI, the bone of integrity. Imagine you are standing at a crossroads. One path is easy, profitable, and cowardly. The other is hard, painful, and right. Most people don't even see the second path. Their vision is clouded by immediate gratification. GI is the ability to make a decision without hesitation. It's about rectitude. To the samurai, a decision made for any reason other than it being right was a form of mental suicide. Think about your current work ethic. Do you do the bare minimum when no one is watching? If you do, you have already lost your GI. You are training your mind to be a servant to convenience. When you practice GI, you eliminate the maybe. You eliminate the later. There is only what must be done and the action of doing it. This is how you stop being a slave to your moods. Does it feel hard? Good. That's the feeling of your character being forged. Rule 2. Why you? Heroic courage. Most people think courage is the absence of fear. It's not. Courage is seeing the fear, feeling its heat, and walking directly into the flame. But there is a secret to why you that most motivational gurus miss. Courage without GI, without that first rule of integrity, is just recklessness. It's a child playing with fire. True why you is the courage to be honest with yourself when you failed. It's the courage to keep going when every nerve in your body is screaming for you to quit. Are you afraid of failure? Or are you actually afraid of the work required to succeed? The samurai viewed life as a series of moments where you either choose to be a hero or a coward. There is no middle ground. Every time you skip the hard task, you are voting for the coward. Rule 2 demands you stop voting for him. Rule 3, Jin, the power of compassion. This might sound soft compared to the others. It's not. Jin is the most dangerous rule for a weak mind to understand. A man with power but no compassion is a tyrant. A man with no power and compassion is just harmless. Jin is about developing massive, undeniable strength, physical, mental, and financial, and then choosing to use it for a purpose higher than yourself. If your only goal is to buy a fancy car and sit on a beach, you will never have the retention of spirit needed to win. Your why is too small. You need a mission that scares you. You need to become so capable that you are a shield for those around you. That responsibility is what keeps you disciplined when you're tired. Rule 4, REI, the shield of respect. Here is where 99% of people fail. They think respect is something you give to others. No. REI starts with the respect you have for your own word. If you tell yourself you will wake up at 5 a.m. and you hit snooze, you have just insulted the most important person in your life, yourself, and you have shown yourself zero respect. How can you expect the world to master you when you can't even master a plastic button on an alarm clock? REI is the internal discipline to treat your habits like a sacred ritual. It's about the details, how you dress, how you speak, how you keep your room. If your environment is a mess, your mind is a mess. The samurai didn't just fight well, they lived with a precision that made them untouchable. Rule 5, Makoto, Radical honesty. In the modern world, we lie to ourselves constantly. We say, "I'm just waiting for the right time." We say, "It's not my fault, the economy is bad." To a samurai, speaking and doing were the same thing. If they said they would do it, it was as good as done. There was no trying. This is Makoto, absolute sincerity. When you align your words with your actions, you develop a terrifying level of self-confidence. You don't need affirmations, because your life is the affirmation. But this requires you to stop lying about your weaknesses. Look in the mirror. Admit where you are failing. Only then can you fix it. Rule 6. Meiyo. Honor above all. We live in a clout culture, but the samurai lived in an honor culture. Clout is what others think of you for a second. Honor is what you know about yourself forever. Rule 6. Meiyo means your character is your most valuable asset. It's the long-term game. Most people trade their honor for a quick buck or a moment of pleasure. They take the shortcut. But the shortcut always leads to a dead end. When you act with honor, you are building a legacy that survives the humps of life. You become uncancelable because your foundation is built on truth, not trends. Rule 7. Chuji, the eternal loyalty. Finally, we reach the anchor. Chuji is loyalty. Not just to a leader, but to your mission. Why do you quit when things get hard? Because you aren't loyal to your vision. You treat your goals like a suggestion, not a command. The samurai were loyal unto death. You don't need to die for your work, but you need to be willing to let your old self die, so the new self can succeed. This loyalty is what carries you through the boring middle of the journey. It's the daily grind. It's the 1,000th repetition when no one is clapping. The single habit shift, the secret of the kamae. Remember at the start? I promised you a single habit shift that gives you total control? The samurai had a concept called kamae, their physical stance. They believed that your physical state dictates your mental state. Here is the habit, the 3-second reset. Whenever you feel an impulse to quit, to scroll, or to lash out in anger, you don't fight the emotion. You change your physical stance. You straighten your spine, take one deep breath, and fix your gaze on a single point for 3 seconds. In those 3 seconds, you exit the slave brain and re-enter the warrior brain. You use that tiny window to apply GI to ask, what is the right thing to do? Then, you do it without a second thought. Most people will watch this and forget it in 10 minutes. They will go back to being slaves to their impulses. But you have the code now. You know the 7 rules. You know that your discipline is the only thing standing between you and a life of regret. The world is going to try to master you today. It's going to throw distractions, fears, and easy exits at you. Stand tall. Use your 3 seconds. Master your mind. If you're ready to stop being a slave and start being a master, check out this next video on how to apply these rules to your daily routine step by step. Your training starts now.